Welcome to X's and Steve O's. We're having a bunch of chats today that I'm sure y'all are having on your own time without recording. Hopefully, we're not wasting your time or our time sharing our opinions on all things NFL. It's pre-week one. We are juiced. It's Tuesday, September 2nd. The first NFL game will be your defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Dallas Cowboys. I hope George Pickens scores for fantasy purposes. Though I am from Philadelphia, I am a known Chiefs fan, and that'll be brought up every single video. But I got love for the Eagles, and I can't help but have love for the Eagles, Coach X, because they may have imprinted that love very physically.
Brotherly love,
Um,
baby. Hey,
yep, the
big
brotherly
brotherly
love.
love.
For sure, the brotherly love was communicated clearly and concisely. In an attempt to be clear and concise, we're going to try to shave this quarterback conversation down. And so, folks, we wanted to start this channel because we love football. We love the NFL. We did football. I played it a little bit. That is to say, they gave me pads and told me where to go. Coach X played it. That is to say, he played in college. We both coached in college as well. We coached together as well. We coached many, many years. Now we coach different positions. I coached defensive line. They kind of were like, hey, take this group and make sure they don't jump off sides. Coach X, coach quarterbacks. This is Coach X is the light show coordinator, the offensive coordinator, for sure. And so when we have this conversation, some of my opinions, I will certainly default to Coach X. And Coach X, I know you're excited to talk about some of your favorite players in the league, right?
Oh, 100%. There are a few of them that just gets me going, fires
Just get
up.
just get you going. Well, let's get you going then, brother. So we're going to talk about quarterbacks, and I don't know what number we're going to have. Who cares? We don't have graphics. We're this is literally the first time we're doing this, so bear with us. We'll get better, as some of these quarterbacks will, but some of these quarterbacks will get worse as well. Anywho, so I have a list. What I'm going to do is share kind of from I guess I won't top down to number one. I'll count down to number one. If you were listening earlier when I said I was a Chiefs fan, you know who number one is. So really, the question will be two versus three, and I know that'll be a big topic of discussion that my brother Coach X and I have. First, with some of the honorable mentions, these are got cats I just want to name so that you're not like, ooh, you forgot about Geno Smith, which no, I didn't forget about Geno Smith or Bo Nix or healthy Tua or healthy Matt Stafford or Love or Stroud or Dak Prescott. I love those quarterbacks. I've said to many of folks when talking football, if you don't have one of the aliens of the position, if you don't have one of the top four, five, six guys, give me Dak Prescott, give me Stroud, give me Love, give me Matt Stafford, and I'll do A-OK. Matthew Stafford would be much higher on this list, excuse me, if we were talking about a younger Matthew Stafford, even just from a couple years ago. But my man has back problems. He's old. He is a warrior. He's played through a lot of injuries. I fear they're catching up. So current Matt Stafford doesn't quite make my quote unquote top 10. The other distinction I'll make is the CJ Stroud, Jordan Love. I view them very similarly. And so I felt like picking one over the other was like a real statement that I don't feel comfortable making. So neither are among my top 10 just yet. But obviously, if Stroud and or Love take that real leap forward and play healthy and play well all year long, they go from outside the top 10 to arguing six, seven, eight, nine. I mean, folks, when we're talking about quarterbacks and Coach X, I think correct me if I'm wrong. When we're talking about this position at the NFL level, when you're talking about the best quarterbacks, you're really splitting hairs. Like the talent discrepancy is minimal. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, yeah. I think overall, yep.
Yeah, so we're talking about some of the best quarterbacks in the world. And so if you hear Stroud and Love aren't top 10 and you take it personal, forgive me. Let's let the games happen and then we'll fix this list for sure. Coach X, I got Jared Goff coming in at number 10. I think he is a true operator of an offense. Now he's losing Ben Johnson. So if Stroud or Love are going to come up into that top 10, this Jared Goff spot is one that I'm most uncomfortable with because we'll see what kind of system they keep up there in Detroit. I got Brock Purdy next at 9. I feel like this is a little bit more of a preview. I think he is, again, an operator of an offense, a point guard, if you will. I think him and Shanahan see the game similarly. They just paid him, so that tells me a team like the Niners, who traded up for Trey Lance, before are locked in on Brock Purdy. I think he's certainly worth mentioning. But again, if you were to tell me CJ Stroud is much better than Brock Purdy, respect to you, I have no argument against that. Next on my list, I know this cat is creeping up there. I don't think he's there yet. We mentioned it on other videos. Jaden Daniels, you are trending that way. Another good year. If he even matches his rookie season, he's probably number five for me, but he's not there yet. You have to do it more than the once. CJ Stroud last year was probably comfortably in my top 10. Sophomore year looks a little bit different, so we'll see. So I'll give Daniels that credit, those props for taking care of the football, put him at number eight. Number seven is a guy that I think is wildly underrated, and that's Baker Mayfield. Some of that is because he finally came into a situation, a lot of talent up front. Wirfs, although I don't know injury question, but offensive line, solid. Receivers, really good. Running back room, really good. I think Baker Mayfield is a dude. I think he's underrated. So I put him at seven on my list. Number six, a Coach X favorite from the West Coast. This is someone, folks, that I was so wrong on coming out of college. I was a Team Tua person. I would have drafted Tua over Justin Herbert for sure. I have been proven wrong in my opinion. Coach X is similarly high on Herbert, probably got him top three. Wait till y'all hear all about it. That's Coach X's dude. Anyway, I was wrong on Justin Herbert. I have him number six. If you wanted to put number six over who I'm about to say at number five, I wouldn't disagree with you, but Herbert has to do more. He's been in this league too long. He's too good of a passer to not have some kind of playoff success. And he doesn't even have playoff success. He has playoff distress. He is terrible when it gets to that point. And if you're going to play this position and be awesome, you have to have those key moments. And who has those key moments? Jalen Hurts at number five has those key moments. He's had those key moments all over my dang face as a Chiefs fan, twice. Even in the loss, he played outstanding. He plays his best when the moment is biggest. I know he is on loaded teams. You will hear me say things like, oh my gosh, if Patrick Mahomes was an Eagle, they'd be undefeated. Well, that might be true, but Jalen Hurts is an Eagle. And guess what? They weren't undefeated, but they're Super Bowl champs by a wide margin. And so I have Hurts five because of some other elements of the position like leadership. Obviously, he's on top of it. He's also only 26 years old. I could be wrong, but he's in the 26 range, which means he's still got a couple years to get better. For example, Mahomes is 29. So Hertz might be that next up after this top tier of wave takes a step towards, the end of their runs, but none of them are close to the end of their runs. All right. At number four, someone that Coach X and I think share an appreciation for, if not a love or a like, it's Joe Burrow. We are talking about maybe one of the more accurate passers in the NFL, maybe the most accurate passer in the NFL. Coach X, forgive me if I'm taking a talking point away from you, but I remember we would watch Burrow and we would say he has that Tom Brady effect where if Tom Brady, you're watching Chiefs Patriots AFC Championship game 2018. If Tom Brady was to get into his throwing motion, like I would let out a sigh of disappointment. I'm like, damn, what does he see? Because if Brady gets ready to throw the ball, he sees the right thing and he's about to put it in the perfect spot. Joe Burrow is the closest thing to that. If you see Joe Burrow wind up to throw the football, you know it's going where it's supposed to. I have him at number four because I just docked Herbert some points for team success. Now he has taken his team to a Super Bowl, beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead, sure enough. We're talking about something that was years ago. And so you have to do it again. Now I know he's hindered by that defensive unit, but Lamar Jackson has made it happen without offensive skill guys before. Mahomes has taken JV players to the Super Bowl and won before. He's taken really bad defenses to AFC Championship games before. Josh Allen is done, yeah, close enough. But Burrow, if he's going to get better than four from me, I think mechanics and passer wise, he's probably number one. But you got to be able to go win the Super Bowl. I mean, we're talking about Hall of Fame quarterbacks when we get to this point on the list. My next Hall of Fame quarterback, Coach X, number three on the list, the multiple time MVP, Lamar Jackson, comes in at number three. And here is what it is, Coach X. I'm going to set the stage nicely for you. I need to see Lamar play that four-quarter mistake-free football game in the playoffs. If he did it against Buffalo, It's Baltimore against Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. We just got to see that last little part. But I know with Lamar, it feels a little unfair because it's always like, we just got to see it. We just got to see it. The difference with Lamar and Josh Allen. Josh Allen has lost games to the Chiefs, but he has played awesome and expertly against the Chiefs. I think Lamar's play needs to match what he does in the regular season. As soon as it does, there's an argument for number one. I think that is the most, I think, ironically enough, although I have Josh Allen number two, I think the Super Bowl ring that has the most historical effect is Lamar Jackson winning a Super Bowl. As soon as he wins a Super Bowl, we're all going to be like, wait a minute, you're talking about the best dual threat passer ever, can also operate from the pocket. You give him a couple weapons, he gives you MVP numbers. Like we're talking about one of the best quarterbacks ever. Gotta see it. I think Josh Allen, same thing. You got to win the Super Bowl, dude. You got to beat the Chiefs. What are we doing? But I do think Allen has outplayed Mahomes head to head a few times recently. And so with that, I'll give Allen the nod at two. I'll go Mahomes one strictly on folks. As a Chiefs fan, I know we're not all Chiefs fans. Most of us aren't. When you watch the Chiefs play, you have to take into consideration a few things like the offensive line struggles last year. Joe Tooney's playing left tackle against the Eagles pass rush. We got we got injuries to running backs one and two. We got injuries to receivers, multiple. Um, I think what Mahomes does better than any other quarterback could is I think he masks a lot of things. masks a lot of things. I think Veach gets a little bit too much credit as a GM, and I love the dude, Andy Reid. I was a Chiefs fan pre-Andy Reid, but I liked Andy Reid in Philadelphia too. And the truth is, I think Mahomes even masks some of Andy Reid's shortcomings. I think Mahomes is this great eraser. Everyone thinks, oh, Chiefs dynasty, blah, blah, blah. Mahomes is a system. Mahomes is the system, and the Chiefs have benefited from it. And so, because of that, I think Mahomes is this powerhouse number one. But we are talking about one through four are Hall of Fame alien type quarterbacks. With that, I'm done my rant. I hope that was quick enough. Coach X, the offensive coordinator. Folks, if you're going to listen to anybody on this talk about this position, it's Coach X. Coach X, the floor is yours.
And we're gonna run through these, get it going, and I'll elaborate when we get to the elite of the elite. Coming in surprisingly at number 10 is Justin Herbert. Not overall high on him. He could slip out this list. Like Stephen A said, the list is fluid. The list is fluid. He will be out of there in week two if he doesn't play up to his capability. I feel like overall he has been a fairly big disappointment. You're talking about somebody with elite talent, speed, arm, decision making overall, and just hasn't gotten it done ever. And he barely, I'm talking about barely makes this list. Coming in at number nine, Jared Goff. I mean, you talk about a story who, coming from the Rams doing phenomenal things, come to a new program. Um, New situation, all he has done is win. And that is one of the biggest metrics that I'll judge a quarterback on, being able to win. And Jared Goff's new system is just flourishing. His last 2 years have been absolutely phenomenal. And I think you're going to see a lot of the same thing this upcoming year. Number eight, surprisingly, this man has turned it around for me. Like I was out on this guy for a long time. I'm talking about wasn't a fan of him in college, wasn't a fan of him when he was in Cleveland. But Baker Mayfield has turned it around. He has done some really good things. He doesn't turn over the ball a lot. He puts it in the right places. I feel like he has a great connection with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Hopefully Chris can come back and be healthy whenever, his ankles, all good. But Baker Mayfield has turned it around in Tampa Bay, and it's been phenomenal to see. Coming in number seven, I got to put Matthew Stafford back and all. When he can do, I mean, he still makes all the throws. He can do it with whatever receiver, and he is tough. Like if he can play, he's gonna play, and he's gonna put his best foot forward. So I have a lot of faith in Matt Stafford. Coming in at number six, like I'm on the same train as you. If he has a good sophomore season, he could be in that elite tier of quarterbacks. And I got to put Jaden Daniels in there at number six. I'm taking this team to an NFC championship. At the start of the season, it was just like, oh, this is a cute story. He's doing really, really good things. And all of a sudden, he just continue to win, continue to win. Hail Mary to cap off a game. He had so many impressive moments. He just needs to keep taking, if he even is the same this season, I think this man has a big, big future. Probably my most uh up in the air pick right now, coming in at number five is Joe Burrow. Look, when you're one of those elite quarterbacks, you're expected to make the playoffs. When you're healthy, you're expected to win. Now, I can say this for Joe Burrow. Last season, it wasn't on him at all. But this is what I will say. If you look at Patrick Mahomes, Lamar, Josh, if they miss the playoffs, they're getting destroyed. Like that is not even in the conversation. So I have to knock him for that because hey, he hasn't been in the playoffs. Um, and his slow starts. Like if he doesn't have a slow start, he's in the playoffs every single season. But you can't start the season 2-4, 2-5, 2-3, and then have to play catch up for the entirety of the season. And you have to play perfect. Your defense is trash, and you're just putting yourself in bad position. So I have Joe Burrow coming in number five, coming in number four, and this man has been to two Super Bowls already in his young career. And I got to get that to Jalen Hurts. Like winning is the most important thing. My man, like you said, has played phenomenally in both Super Bowl games. He had a rough first half, the first Super Bowl, but he came out on fire. This last Super Bowl, again, he comes out on fire, and I can't knock him for that. And he can easily get into that third, that elite tier, um, very easily this year because again, he is winning and he handles a lot of controversy. He is in a very, very tough city when they give you big brother love. Like they'll talk bad about you, they'll boo you out the city until they win. So, big shout out to Jalen Hurts coming in number four. Number three, um, this is very challenging for me to say. And I got to be as unbiased as possible, dealing with quarterbacks and things like that. I mean, great athlete, is fast, throws a great ball, makes the most out of, whatever situation he has. Then coming in number three is Josh Allen. Uh,
I'm
there's no
surprised.
I think he has phenomenal mobility. He is tough. He's not afraid to put his nose in there, and he is a competitor. He extends plays to make unbelievable things happen. Like we always talk about the second play at the quarterback position. When something breaks down and you start to see Josh Allen scramble, you're like, man, he is about to find somebody. He's about to put a dart on them for a big play. I got to get him that coming in number three. Coming in at number two, hope 2.0 doesn't look at me crazy for this, but I got to put in number two. My man Lamar Jackson, coming in number two, two-time reigning, two-time MVP champion, MVP of the league, had an opportunity for three, 40 plus touchdowns, five interceptions last year, like one of the most incredible seasons ever. And the thing about Lamar, I agree with you. We got to see more in the playoffs. We have seen significant strides each year, even with a poor first half versus the Buffalo Bills. He came back down a touchdown and drove his team right down the field. And for all intents and purposes, his team in a position to at least tie the game for overtime. But hey, we got to see in the playoffs. Keep making those strides, and then good things are going to happen. I think he is a competitor. He is an elite quarterback that's going to keep pushing the meter forward. And until you knock off the king, the king's the king. Like there is, I mean, when your standard is the minimum that's going to happen is an AFC championship game. Like, I mean, what are we talking about here? This man is already earned his gold jacket. He could stop right now and still be arguably top two quarterbacks of all time, and he still has a lot of ball to play. But we got to give it to Patrick Mahomes at number one. I mean, he is the standard for quarterbacks. He has done great things with great talent and then still the best player on the field. He's done great things with inferior talent and still took a team to the Super Bowl. He's done it with Tyreek Hill. He's done it without, oh, he's not going to be able to have the big play without Tyreek Hill. Very next year, boom, Super Bowl. Like, what are we talking about? Having an opportunity to three-peat, just putting himself in that situation, I think is massive because this wasn't the same Chief team that we've been seeing over the years. It was a little bit more of a struggle. But when you lose two games in the entire season, regular season and playoffs, like what are we talking about here? Like we can all say he had less talent. I mean, we were talking about Kareem Hunt, who couldn't break off a 10-yard gain to save his life. He's gonna get you three or four no matter what. You're not tackling him in the backfield, but still taking that team to the Super Bowl. I gotta agree to Patrick Mahomes. Wins is important. And that's why he is sitting comfortably at number one.
Hey, Coach X, you knew what you were doing with those words too. You were like, boom, Lamar too. Here's what I'd say, and this is a conversation. It's easier to talk about the quarterback list than the Super Bowl recap, that's for sure. Um, but here's the truth: like, even doing this list, Matthew Stafford's a good example. You have him comfortably in your top 10. For me, if he's healthy, he's probably that number six quarterback. He's that line of like, this is the last of the elite. He deserves that, I think. I question the injury. But now you're like, all right, Stevo, you're talking about like right here and now. Well, if we're talking about right here and now, to your point, like Mahomes has not looked like Patrick Mahomes for a couple of years. I think that's more circumstantial than it is play. I don't think he is somehow regressing. I do think Lamar and Josh deserve the credit for they're still on an upward trajectory, excuse me. Lamar could get better. And when he does, if he does, we're talking a Super Bowl victory. Josh Allen has room to improve. He's going to get better if and when he does. That's a Super Bowl win right there. So we're talking about Hall of Fame quarterbacks. The way I see it, I agree with you. I think Mahomes' top five argument is comfortable right now. There's really not too many quarterbacks not named Brady that I'm not like, nah, I'm taking Mahomes. Lamar and Josh to me are top 20 quarterbacks today. And I mean ever. Probably top 10 from talent standpoint. Like I don't think the NFL has ever seen athletes like Josh Allen and Lamar, be it different types of athletes, but athletes nonetheless. Lamar is probably pound for pound the best football player in the NFL when you consider the ability to operate at such a high level at quarterback and can probably go play safety, can probably go play corner, right? Like that's not true about Patrick. It's not true about Josh. Although Josh might be a nice little tight end or something. So we're talking about splitting hairs here. If you put Mahomes at 3 or 4 and you put Jackson and Allen above Mahomes, if you put Burrow above Mahomes, I'm not freaking out. Um, so style, Coach X, I agree with you. Like these differences are minimal. You talk about the gold jacket reference, and this isn't just to talk about your guy or Josh or Joe that way. I think Barrow is kind of that cutoff of like Allen and Jackson are also Hall of Famers already. I don't think there's another one of those. But if you're telling me it's Hurts or Burrow, or possibly Stafford, like I agree with you. So when we're having the quarterback conversation, like, and folks, take Mahomes down a few levels. Me personally, I'm like, I get it. Because if you're watching and you don't have the full context of the fact that they've been injured and they have to win a different way, to your point, like I totally get it. Was that a conversation you had at all? I know when we talk like off screen, you're like, hey, Mahomes is the champ, but were you at all like, I don't know, man, he's not playing that well.
No, because at the end of the day, you look at like being able to win, and that is like probably my 1A, like being able to win in different type of situations. A big reason why I put Lamar over Josh Allen is if we zoom out, we look at all the quote unquote elites, we say Hurts, Burrow, Allen, Mahomes. We're taking Lamar out for now. All of those people have had elite receivers to keep growing and developing with. Lamar Jackson didn't have that until 2023 when we're getting Zay and Bate and things like that. So, hey, he finally gets talent the last 2 or 3 years, and then he's taken off as a passer. Like, so his development is like finally happened because, hey, we're finally investing in something other than the running back position. He's in a brand new offense just 2 years ago. We talk about Patrick Mahomes not having talent. Now he does it with and without. I'm not taking that away from him, but you plug him in Philadelphia, it's like, man, good luck. Like, good luck. Hey, Lamar Jackson has finally had talent. His his biggest receiver, his best receiver has been Zay Flowers, who was just drafted 2 years ago. Before then, nobody, I don't think Lamar had a top 100 receiver. We were making a big fuss. Oh, Josh Allen doesn't have Diggs anymore. Like blah 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 blah. My man has had dogs his whole career, and Diggs made him significantly better. So I look at it like that. Like I'm looking at how much he has progressed in when he finally has talent, and I give him the edge in that category. Like look how much he has progressed in the playoffs. Like he was finally a number one seed when he got some talent. Could have been right back there, minus a drop, a few turnovers and things like that. So I'm looking at the trajectory and like if you look at this thing holistically, Lamar Jackson has done the absolute most for the entirety of his career with the absolute least. And now he's getting more of that help and he's showing like, hey, you give me some help, I'm going to keep getting better. And I'm still the best player on my team, even with the Derrick Henry. Like there's still no argument like, oh, I think Derrick Henry is the reason why they went. Now he's helping us win, but Lamar threw 40 touchdowns alongside with having Derrick Henry.
It's an excellent point. I remember the MVP discussion. And it's interesting. I feel like Allen and Jackson won MVPs when the other one had a better year.
Mm.
But I remember the MVP discussion. My argument against Lamar was it's tough for me to say you're the most valuable player when there's another name in the MVP conversation that you share the backfield with. So, like, it would be like if Derrick Henry's sixth or fifth in your MVP ballot, Lamar being one is a little bit difficult. They directly impact each other's success. But to your point, the passing stats are there. I think I have Lamar 3 above Burrow. because some of what you mentioned in terms of like you can't even have a conversation comparing the Ravens receiver rooms in Jackson's career compared to what Burrow has been blessed with. Um, so I think that's a comfortable distinction for me. To me, Josh Allen, Lamar are literally week to week. Like I think if Lamar outplays Josh Sunday night and beats Josh against Buffalo, like how easy is it to put him two? I think to your point, and I think we agree on this, like Mahomes' ability to do it both with Tyreek and Travis and that elite offense, but also the ability to throw touchdown passes to Sky Moore and Mecole Hardman in Super Bowls and win Super Bowls like he's done it both ways. And that's what I mean. Like the Super Bowl ring that will impact the NFL history the most is if Lamar and or Josh get their rings. Because now we're talking about put Lamar over the hump once. Gosh, give him two Super Bowls. We're going to have uncomfortable conversations about guys that we just kind of traditionally accept as all-timers. Are we comparing Lamar to like Ben Roethlisberger if Lamar wins too? And I know Roethlisberger will he'll bother some folks that name some Pittsburgh audience. But like that Rivers, Roethlisberger, list where like guys that were in the teens of like all timer, like Ben might not be top 10 all time, but maybe he's 12th, maybe he's 15th, maybe he's top 10. But if Lamar wins a couple Super Bowls, if he wins one Super Bowl, I I have a tough time. So that I think the biggest impact ring will be Lamar and Josh's. Although I will say if Hurts and the Eagles go on a run, if they win a couple, we're gonna have some uncomfortable conversations about the quarterback position
Mhm.
because the casual fan will not acknowledge that Lamar has become a passer, to your point, the 40 passing touchdowns. And you watch him play, he's in the pocket, he's throwing from the pocket, he's throwing to the sideline, he's operating an offense like Josh, Joe, Patrick, those four, in my opinion. Hurts Hurts is a little bit different. Like he's not throwing it 40 times a game and having this crazy success. Now he has a great deep ball. He operates the offense very well. He's obviously benefited from Saquon Barkley, which all of them would. So, but he wins a couple. He goes on a run as the center of the Eagles' potential run slash dynasty. We're having some really uncomfortable conversations as we are currently, but I think we both hold Hurts in high regard. Can I ask you a question? Who were some quarterbacks like you put Herbert as your this is 10. Who were some
Mhm.
of the other names you were like holding up against that Herbert light?
Yeah. So someone who's very close with CJ. I think if he had the talent throughout the duration, I feel like I could have snuck him in. If I'm being honest, when Dak, if we're talking about again, because we're in the regular season, so I'm only focused on the regular season. Dak is there. Like Dak wins at the end of the day. Like he has multiple 12 win seasons, albeit like for the most part, his division hasn't been the greatest, but now it's a lot different. But he does win, and that's a big component to some of the things I'm looking at. If I had to look at um gosh, dang it. Who was on the outside looking in? I think I started to look at Caleb Williams a little bit different, like not in that 10, but kind of that middle of the pack. Cause I'm like, as a rookie, like he did a lot of good things. Like we got to give him some grace. And I think Bo Nix is like right in the middle of the pack that can make some significant strides. So those are the guys I'm like, you're not there yet. But you definitely can get there. So those are like a few of my outside looking in guys.
Good, 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 good. I'm glad we both brought up Nix and Stroud. Like Stroud's maybe a few of them have a big margin of like you just do this, you're all the way up here, or you do this and you're off the list. And I think Stroud is the greatest example for me. I view Love and Stroud very similarly in terms of like I think Love is in a better offensive situation. I thought Stroud was, although they just changed coordinators because last year was so rough. So I view them similarly as just as style and passers. I view Prescott as kind of like best case scenario. Stroud becomes like a Dak Prescott. Like I think we share that high regard for Dak when he's healthy. Like we did our Eagles Cowboys prediction. And part of the reason that I think it'll be this kind of like the Eagles are up, but the Cowboys are right there is because I think Dak's going to complete some passes as long as they can block that front. So, um, yeah, I think this was a healthy conversation. I think we agree on a lot. I think we disagree on a good amount too, for sure. But I think a lot of folks watching have heard their quarterback's name brought up. And if you hadn't, then that cat might just not be there. But the truth is, again, if you don't have one of these alien quarterbacks, for me, it's Mahomes, Jackson, Allen, Burrow, or in order, Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Burrow. If you don't have one of those guys, you need you can win with one of these next guys off the list. Coach X, my last question for you before we wrap up this great day of conversation is your take on one Brock Purdy.
Middle tier quarterback for me. I think he has been blessed with elite talent throughout his entire career. When that talent was taken away, you became, you see who's swimming naked when the tide goes down. So, and I'm like, I didn't see it there. So I think, I mean, if he has the talent, he can show me something different. So a lot of those pieces have kind of shifted. But he has literally had a top three tight end, a healthy running back, arguably one, arguably top three. As far as receivers, I think each receiver, we can arguably say top 15 receivers in their respective positions. So like you have in an offensive line, like y'all bully people. Like you were not a defense that was good. Like you had everything gifted to you. So again, if we take Pat, Lamar, Josh, Hurts, anybody with any one of those quarterbacks with that talent is like, what are we talking about? We're going to be in the NFC Championship game in the Super Bowl as well. So it's hard for me to give him like into that top 10 until I see more with less.
Great point. It's a great point. Another quarterback name I'll bring up as we wrap up is one Evan Simon, Temple Owls starting quarterback, 6 passing touchdowns as Temple defeats the Minutemen of UMass. Huge victory from my Casey Keeler era. Shout out to the Temple Owls. And Coach X, I know you were glued. You
hmm
were glued to the screen as the Gators shut out the Long Island University, whatever they are.
You know what? I'm not watching Gator football until Napier is no longer the head coach. So good luck to the Gators. That's still my squad. I'll always support them, but I have not seen enough. We'll see come week 5 or 6. We'll see how Billy is doing.
We'll see. As Coach X says, it sounds good. This sounded good. This was a great chat. Coach X, I appreciate you. This has been awesome. Folks, we're just getting started. This will only get better and more in depth. It's pre-week one. None of us know what the heck we're talking about. We're about to find out. The beautiful thing about football is they play the games. So appreciate y'all joining us, Coach X. Appreciate your time. Busy,
Sure.
busy man over here. But as y'all tune in throughout the season, you'll learn more about us and we'll all learn more about who's who this year. But looking forward to it, and we'll see y'all next week.
See ya.